Hello, my name is Adonis and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a bi-weekly love or loss spread for all of my Aries out there from February 20th until March 5th. So let's get after it. Alright. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Show me cards I need to see. Show me cards I need to see. What type of energies of love are coming towards my Aries during the time of February 20th to March 5th? What kind of energy or love are coming towards my Aries during the time frame of February 20th to March 5th. Show me cards that I need to see. Okay, that feels good. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay. Okay, so right from the beginning, we have a water sign individual, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Now, this individual, this is a younger individual here. And they're pretty much just kind of like on the periphery. They're not really engaging in any kind of direct communication with you as of yet. They're just kind of like on the outside looking in. Now, this individual is a younger individual. This is a younger water sign individual. Like that shit, they're just kind of like on the periphery, just kind of taking a step back, just kind of watching, seeing how things take place, because there are other people in this. There's another individual in this spread for sure. And that's very complex. And this individual is an earth sign individual, okay? A Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo. Now, this individual is more or less, you're aware of this individual because there's a great deal of things going on with this individual. For starters, their mindset is they're being very strategic, more methodical. You can interchange strategic and methodical, both interchangeable words here, but they're being very strategic with how they go about approaching you and communicating with you. Now, there's a great deal of conflict and argument surrounding this individual. Okay, we have the Five of Wands here, so there's a large amount of conflict and tension that's going on with this individual. It's kind of like this tug of war, this pull and pull. Now, this individual, the reason that this individual may seem a little bit combative is because, in their mindset at least, you guys are really meant together. So how can I describe this? So it's not as if this individual is outwardly being aggressive, but when they approach you, it's this kind of sort of like this tension that you can feel when this person's approaching you, and they're and they're communicating with you and sharing their thoughts and their dreams with you, and there's somewhat of a tension there. All right, so that's what the conflict is. It's kind of like they're kind of conflicted with how they should go about approaching, and like I said, they're doing it kind of strategically, but you can kind of like feel the tension as they're communicating with you. Now, being with you would definitely be a removal of a burden for them. So they're kind of like unburdened themselves. A lot of those, in other words, the tension is coming from the fact that there's a whole lot of small talk, at least in their eyes. There's a great deal of small talk taking place, and they just kind of wanted to like get right to the point. So that's where this tension is coming from. This slow, methodical approach. That's their plan, but there's also a degree of frustration that they're dealing with too, because they believe that you guys should definitely be together. You guys were basically made to be together. They feel like there's a past life connection that you have, and it's somewhat frustrating. Now, there's this hope of a refreshing, renewal of energy, a commonality, a coming together. So there is this mindset, this aspect that they possess, because they believe that they are one of your soulmates. At least they believe that you are their soulmate, and so that's why they're trying. That's why it's so frustrating for them to kind of get work through the motions of all of the small talk. Like I said, they really want to just get to know you. They want you to go out. really meet your family. They want to meet your family. They want to get through what they consider a lot of the small talk and just get right to the point, because they believe that you guys do have a connection. If you just got to know them a little better, you would feel the same way. That's their mindset. So that's what they're dealing with. That's why there's so much conflict. Now, thing is, you have dated this individual, had communication with this individual in the past. So this is someone that, not necessarily saying this is necessarily an ex, but there absolutely is this feeling that uh, uh, there actually is an attraction to this individual, because you may have dated or kind of flirted with this individual in the past, but nothing really substantial came from it. But this is an individual that you do know, that's from your past, that you have, like I said before, you've kind of contemplated the courting thing, and the kind of things just kind of fell by the wayside for you, but it did not for them. Okay. So this person is definitely someone from your past, and like I said before, they really have this strong desire um, to really, expedite things, get things moving a little bit fast, because things are kind of dragging to them. But there's this sense that this is the only card they have to play at the moment, because they have to kind of work through the minutia, and it's very frustrating to them. And you'll be able to kind of pick up on this, and you'll kind of feel it when you're around them, like, wow, this person's really kind of, this person's really they're kind of intense. They're kind of intense, okay? Not in a scary, frightening way, but you can kind of feel like the intensity coming off of them. All right. Now, there is this feeling that they have, at least, that they're giving their cup of love to you, and you're kind of like rejecting it. Okay. Again, that rejection, it may not necessarily be that you're rejecting them outright. You're kind of slowing things. Things are kind of slow for them, okay? And you're not exactly acting quick enough for them. So there's this sense that they have, that there's this feeling of rejection that they're dealing with, all right? And as a result, it's giving them the sense that their hands are tied behind their back. They feel like there's this feeling that they're stuck. That they want to move faster, but things are just going at such a snail's pace. It's really kind of making them feel trapped here. So that's what's going on with this individual. So with that being said, let's see what kind of strengths are you dealing with here? What are the strengths of the situation? What kind of strengths are you dealing with here? What kind of strengths are you dealing with, my Aries? What kind of strengths are my Aries dealing with here? So one wanted to pop out, so we're definitely going to take that one. Alright. Alright, so we have the Eight of Wands here. So there's a great amount of, so right now, my Aries, you're kind of like, again, these are all your strengths. Right now, you're kind of like, you're doing a lot of searching out on social media. You're kind of like, you're looking for, especially in terms of relationship. You're kind of, you're doing an Instagram thing, a social media thing. You're sending a lot of energy out there. You're trying to find that right fit, because you do feel like there is a sense that there is someone out there for you. And you're leaving no stone unturned. You're just kind of going out there, you're kind of feeling things out, seeing who vibes with you, who doesn't. So you're kind of like, it's kind of like a feeling out process. And that's probably why this Earth sign individual is feeling like things are kind of dragging, at least in dragging, because you have your eggs in other baskets too. And like I said, that's where the tension's coming from on their end. They feel like things are dragging, but you're kind of like, you're going out there, you're kind of, leaving no stone unturned. You're really serious about finding a meaningful connection with someone, okay? Now also, dealing with the Page of Pentacles energy here. And That's it. This energy is an energy where the person, you're very meticulous with how you come off. You're very careful with what kind of wording that you use. You're trying to be you're watching your words very carefully and how you come off very carefully. So you're very keen on the type of communication that you have, because you don't want there to be any sense of ambiguity. You want people to know exactly where you're coming from and exactly what you're looking for. That's why you're being very careful with how you communicate. Page of Pentacles is very careful, watching the Pentacles very closely in terms of messaging. You're very cautious and careful about what you're saying, because you want your words to have meaning. You want people to get it the first time, okay? Now, you are definitely looking for a long-term committed relationship, possible children in the future. So that's what you're looking for. And like I said before, as far as leaving no stone unturned, even if it comes down to, you got the Three of Pentacles here, even if that means that, there's a type of love situation that even at your place of work, and or even if you're like in a school situation or setting or something like that. So even if it comes down to that, it's all about finding that right connection, leaving no stone unturned. So you're not opposed to finding a particular love interest even at your place of work, someone that's in close proximity with you. This is very heavily on your mind, and this can be shown by the Nine of Swords here. So this is something that's very present in your mindset. You're somewhat stressing about it, not too much, but it is something that's weighing on your mind. Okay, you're really looking for like a soulmate love connection, someone that you can really vibe with, someone that you can grow with. That's really uppermost on your mind here. Now, you are also king of sneaky behavior. So, and that's why you're being very deliberate in what you're saying. You're really letting people know, like, listen, I'm not about playing any kind of games. I'm not kind of trying to do any kind of sneaky behavior. And you're pretty much verbalizing that, okay? You're being very specific about what you want, what you don't want, all right? Also, it's not particular out of the range of possibility that even the judgment here, reconnection with an ex, depending on, and the caveat here is depending on the nature of the breakup. Okay, it really depends on the nature of a breakup. If it's one of them situations where you guys just kind of grew apart, that's one thing. But if they cheated on you, depending on the severity of the cheating, that's definitely going to be depending on depending on how severe the breakup was, and again, if you thought the person was cheating as opposed to if you actually saw the person cheating, again, a lot is going to have to be weighted into that. But you're not opposed to maybe reintroducing an ex back into your life again, depending on the circumstances. Okay. Also, there's this aspect here of generosity, of courteousness. So you're willing to be generous and courteous, and you're looking likewise for someone to be very generous and courteous with you as well. And finally, here we have the Emperor card here, which means that you're asserting yourself. You're taking charge of the situation, which is, like I said, which is why you're leaving no stone unturned. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you're kind of entertaining that. Also at your place of work, you're kind of entertaining that. Maybe you'll find, what you're looking for there, and even opening up the door to possibly an ex, depending on the nature of the breakup here. So like I said, you're leaving no stone unturned, and these are all of your strengths here. So with that being said, what are the current blockages with this particular situation? What are the current blockages that you're dealing with this particular situation? What are the blockages to you connecting with this individual? What are the blockages here? All right, here we go. Okay, so we got the 6th of Swords here. And that's moving from a chaotic situation, moving to something more tranquil, more calm, more relaxing. Now, this directly has to do with the fact that there's, again, I told you there's a certain amount of tension that this individual is kind of dealing with, like this internal struggle that things are progressing a little bit too slow for them, okay? And, you know, that's because they actually believe you definitely have a very deep, hardcore, spiritual, soulmate connection, twin flame connection here. But, you know, the blockages to you really opening yourself up to this situation is the fact that, like I said, you can feel that tension. It's, you know, it's kind of like you want things to be kind of more, a little bit more laid back. Things are a little bit too tense. Things are a little bit too tense, and that's a major blockage here. Is that, you know, you kind of need things to kind of slow down a little bit, and you need the tension to kind of wean down a little bit here. In addition, here we have the Page of Pentacles, communication. And so again, you're very careful with how you're putting things, how you're coming off, how you're handling yourself. And your perspective is this person is not communicating or handling themselves very effectively. Okay. The communication, again, like I said, is a little tense. The emotions are a little bit tense. And for one, you know, you got the Knight of Cups here. That's a daring, dominating, dashing energy. You kind of want to be kind of swept off your feet, swept up in the moment. And this individual is really not doing that. You know, they're coming off, you know, kind of tensive, you know, very, very direct, kind of pushy. And so, you know, you kind of want to be swept off your feet. So whereas their mindset is this is the strategy, your mindset is the strategy is failing, it's not working. Okay. And it's somewhat of a burden. You're looking to have your this burden removed. Okay. Like I said, that's why you're leaving no stone unturned here. All right. Because you're looking to have, again, the blocks, you're looking to have this burden removed. It's beginning to kind of become kind of cumbersome, kind of burdensome, the way things are kind of going. All right. And you are indeed looking for a twin flame connection. Again, they believe that you guys are kind of, you know, a good fit, but you're not so sure about that. And finally, here we have the Justice card. You're looking for some transparency, some truth here, and you're kind of feeling like, you know, I don't know. There's just this doesn't quite feel right. This doesn't really feel. It feels like you feel like you're missing something. You don't feel like there's this sense of transparency. Like you're not completely sure that how this person is coming off is that there's something wrong here. And there's something wrong, and you'd be right, because there's something wrong here. There's this tension that this person is dealing with. This kind of like this hurry up type of mentality that this individual is dealing with here. It's coming off as kind of being like a little bit pseudo, kind of desperate, you know, and it's kind of like a turn off, if you will. So that's what's going on with that. So with that being said, let's see what additional information the Spirit wants to give here before I shut this thing down. Oh, I almost forgot. So is this a love or a loss situation? I absolutely would say, for the most part, it definitely appears that it is a loss here. This does not appear like it's a love situation. It's definitely a loss situation for sure. It's just the energy that you're dealing with this individual is just it's just like you know, it's like you're just not connecting there. You're just not connecting. This individual's a little bit too desperate, a little bit too pushy, and you're kind of feeling that. Not so much in their words as in kind of like the energy that they're giving off. And it's a kind of a turn off, all right? So I would definitely say that this particular situation is definitely a loss here. All right, so with that being said, let's see what additional information Spirit wants to give before I shut this thing down. What additional information the Spirit wants to give before I shut this thing down? What additional information Spirit wants to give before I shut this thing down? Some cards I need to see. Some cards I need to see. Okay, here we go here. So, here we go. Eyes on the prize. Trust the guides of your North Star. So, again, Spirit saying keep your eyes on the prize, keep moving forward, be guided by your North Star. In other words, trust your gut here. Your gut here is telling you there's something not quite right about this. Trust your gut, trust your instincts, okay? Keep moving forward here. The quest, plunge boldly into life. The quest that you're on currently is to find this twin flame possible soulmate connection here. And just, and Spirit saying just you continue to do what you're doing. Plunge yourself, deeply invest a lot of time and effort into this quest, and you're doing it. You're via social media, like I said, leaving no stone unturned. So in other words, you're on the right path. You're doing what you need to do, taking charge, the Emperor energy, taking charge of your situation, getting the outcome that you desire for yourself. And finally here, we have 10,000 angels, lean on your circle of supernatural support. In other words, ask for guidance from a higher power. Slow things down, okay? Meditate, ground yourself, keep your, don't let this be your sole purpose here is finding someone that you have this commonality with, this connection with. Don't let that be the sole purpose of your life, okay? But right now it's kind of uppermost. It's kind of uppermost in your thought process there. So that's okay. As long as you're able to walk and chew gum at the same time, as long as you're still able to multitask, that's fine. But again, ask for guidance, to help you kind of move through the minutia, to give you kind of like a sense of grounding, in other words. So in other words, pray about this. Ask for guidance from your higher power, but make sure you keep yourself grounded at all times, all right? So that being said, I'm going to shut this thing down now. This was a general love or loss reading, general love reading. It may not resonate with everyone. If it did not resonate with you, that's okay. And you want to know a little bit more about your particular situation, again, I'll leave the link below. If this did resonate with you, you want a little bit more, again, the link will be below. If you haven't already, please like, please share, and please subscribe. My name is Adonis. I love you guys, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye-bye.